Okay guys, I think we can start. Please, first of all, like always, tell me about the sound. Is everything okay? Do you hear me? And etc. etc. Someone in the chat who's alive here. Do we have people even in the chat? Give me a second. Seems like I'm alone. Or we're gonna wait a bit more. Chat. Yeah, finally. Okay, sound is okay. So yeah, let's start. Some people will come after, some will watch it in as a record. So yeah. Main point of our today's session is the fifth task. It's about S3. This task is a bit tricky, just a bit. From my side, it took me like half an hour to understand what the hell is going on here, what actually needed to be done. So yeah, I'm gonna explain it to you, so you will have idea about what you're gonna do. So let's start. First of all, this task is some kind of prequel, I think, for the task about microservice communication for sixth task. So here we're gonna create some small communications between S3 service and between Lambda. And here we're just gonna connect them. So main point of this is like our S3 container gonna call Lambda function for some event. That's the main thing. So we don't wanna do any logic here. It will be just logs. For this one, in the sixth task, you will create a bit more logic. So let's go through. We already have product service. We already made it. We finished database for it in task 4. So for this one, we're gonna create a new service. So your first task will be to create a new folder for your service. So for my side, it's like just a new service import. Main goal of this import service, later on we will add and import CSV file. This CSV file will go to our S3 container and will be processed by our lambdas. And for this task, we will create a S3 bucket where we will store our CSV files. We will create two lambdas. First lambda will import our file from front end to our S3 bucket, and second lambda will be triggered by special event of S3 service and will process our CSV file. So yeah, that's how it looks. So let's take a look a bit for our CDK. So as you can see, I show you less and less information from task to task. Actually, this task is not too hard, just two lambdas and one S3, and I don't want to show you everything, how it works, so just the main base features and base ideas of how it's gonna work. So like, as usual, we will create a new stack. It will be import service stack. We will create bucket for this one. So we create, yeah, S3 bucket for our stack. We will create import products lambda. As I told you before, this one will be used to get our file and put it inside bucket. So we grant for this lambda read-write access to our bucket, and we create import file parser lambda. Import file parser lambda for 5 tasks, I believe it's just logging. Lambda function should use readable string to get an object from S3, parse it using, and log each record. Yeah, so there will be no logic here, just logs. So it just has to get file you just imported and process it with logs. That's it. And the main feature of this task actually is these 4 strings. It's nothing special here. We just add event notification for our bucket, and we want to check our object created event, and in case object created event appeared, we want to run our lambda. We want to run our parser lambda. And actually that's all about task 5. So we create bucket, we create lambda, which will push objects to our bucket, and we create the other lambda, which will be triggered by S3 event and will parse our file we just pushed. All the logic you will have to write down by yourself. So yeah, this lambda file parser lambda will get this object. It will receive an object inside the parameter. So you will have to check how it works. You will have to check data it receives and just parse it with the readable stream. It will depends on your language, I think, how it goes inside. So yeah, that's all about task 5. Nothing special here. So it's like, as I told before, I told you at start, it will be just a prequel for task 6, because in task 6 we will create SNS, SQS services. We will add them to what we created today. Yeah, so we will use our import file parser. We will create our batch process here. So we will just implement all the 6 tasks on top of the 5th one. So 5th one is just preparation. Do you guys have any questions? It's a really simple task when you understand what you have to do. Yeah, and give me a second. I believe no, we don't have any criteria for JS. I believe we have it in task 6 or somewhere else. I've seen, maybe it's already fixed. Yeah, seems like it's fixed. I'm done. That's all what I wanted to tell you about. So task is pretty free. Next one will be harder. We will talk more about SQS, SNS, but it will be next week. So this week is pretty easy. So good when we don't have much people. So we are lack of questions. It's a bit sad, but it's also a bit good because we can finish it earlier and just go do the task. So no questions, guys. Am I right? And we can finish this one. Maybe questions not about the task, maybe some other, maybe about the latest task. I believe it was some conversations about force task, and some people decided to skip Dynamo, as I told. And yeah, we came to a conclusion that it's actually, you can skip Dynamo, and we will log DynamoDB on the next run of the course, I believe, because right now all our tasks which goes about DynamoDB, they are just we have no restrictions for not using DynamoDB. So for the next run we will restrict DynamoDB for the first task. But for now, yeah, it was pretty big conversations about, do we have to use DynamoDB or we can just skip and go to the RDS. So no one have questions. It's pretty cool. So I believe we can go. Let me check Discord. Maybe some on Discord have questions. I'm trying to find anything. So less and less people come here. 12:06. Yep. Seems like we're done. Okay, guys. So actually from my side, it's nothing more I can tell you about. So it's all from you now. You will have just to create those 3 services and make them work. As usual, you can ask questions in Discord where you will find solutions and answer your questions. Yeah, this task is really easy. It was really hard for me just to understand what I should do, and it took for me like half an hour, and in my case I already made this one, so yeah, I just try to remember what I've done here. But yeah, it's not that hard task, just to lambdas in the street, that's it. Okay, see you next week. From my side, I can tell you that this one won't take much time from you, so try to go further and check the 6th task before we will start it. Yeah, because this one will go, yeah, it's a continuation for homework 5, and you can run this one a bit earlier, I think, because 5th is just too small task. Maybe, yeah, nah. we're not gonna merge them into one task, I think. Still need more time for some people, I think, this integration. But yeah, so just go to the 6 tasks. If this one will take too little time from you, why not? Just try to check how SNS and SQS works in CDK. Maybe try to create your own services on top of your 5th task. That's all I can give you advice about, so you'll spend less time next week. Okay, thank you everyone. Not much people here, but maybe later we will have more, especially when we will come to authorization, maybe on next one. Have a good week. Ask your questions in Discord. People will answer you. We will always try to help you, and we will always come to a conclusion which I believe can satisfy everyone. So yeah, have a good week. I'm out. Goodbye.